Okay, baby, we back with another episode, Anonymously Truth. You know what I mean? I got a couple different topics I want to go through. It's your boy KDM. I'm out here on the grill, you see what I'm saying? It's like my third time on the grill this week. Expert grill, this ain't no bullshit, you see what I'm saying? So this that real good shit right here. You know what I mean? But I wanted to start off kind of talking about content, man. Like, content so hard, like for the podcast. We only even got, this will be the second episode, and it's been a couple weeks, but it's so hard to do content, you know what I mean? It's not as easy as everybody thinks. It's just picking up a camera and then filming. First off, your life got to be exciting enough to be able to just pick up a camera and film and do content, or you either got to be creative enough to create content even when there may not be no content there. And then just getting up and actually doing the work and actually putting that camera on and sitting in front of the camera and talking and getting yourself looking halfway decent or something like that. That shit ain't easy, you know what I'm saying? It ain't really easy doing content at all, man. Just having the energy to do it, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot more than go into it. It's actually like, you got to make the content, but you got to set up your camera. You got to get your angles together. You got to do testers to test and make sure that you're looking right. You know what I mean? You got to come up with an idea. Then you got to come up with topics. So, you know, this is Anonymously True podcast. And we've been seeing a lot of different news, but it's actually hard catching all that news to speak about it. So the guys that's actually like DJ Academics, Joe Budden podcast, the people that's actually catching all the content and putting out, you know, on a podcast or streaming, they catching everything, ain't nothing get past them. That's a real hard job. And then you see why. Look at the charcoal shape. That's crazy. It's different when you go overseas. The charcoal be shaped different. And just becoming like in a blog. But yeah, so you see why they make millions of dollars doing content, because it's not easy. And then even when you get past all that, you still gotta have supporters. You still gotta have people that's gonna comment, people that's gonna like, people that's gonna sit there and watch and listen to you. You know what I mean? That's not easy to do. Woo. Yeah, it got these huge pieces. Then it came with these little wood things right here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put those in the middle, cause I'm gonna try to light the grill with that. You see what I'm saying? But I think I'm gonna get more on this side. Let me get more on this side. Try to get more on this side. Bear with me, you know, we ain't rushing through this. We not rushing through this. So the first thing I wanted to talk about this week on the podcast is J. Cole response. So J. Cole sat down with Cameron from It Is What It Is. They got a podcast too, and they do really good. You know, those are the big dogs, you know what I mean? And just their whole setup, you gotta think about how much money they put into their whole setup and their staff to be able to do that show. You see what I'm saying? So they deserve the support because they put in the work for the support. But anyways, J. Cole was on It Is What It Is podcast, and I think he had some back and forth stuff going on with Cameron, but they also asked him about Drake and they asked him about Kendrick. Woo. Put a lot of charcoal on there because I got chicken, so the chicken, you know, chicken take a little bit longer to cook. Okay, I think I got a pretty good spread. I'm gonna throw that in there, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get those right, like that. Keep that middle one open. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my fluid so I can start the fire. Let me move that back out the way. Ooh. Man, if y'all got some pointers, let me know. What y'all be doing to grill? What y'all be doing to start y'all fire? You know, I take all the charcoal. I got a lot of charcoal this time because I got a lot of food and stuff to cook, so I'm gonna use a lot. And I ain't even got a lot of lighter fluid, so that's pretty much all I got. So I ain't even been able to soak it, so shit. Sometimes you gotta use what you got, you know what I mean? I don't really wanna get that close to it to light it with my hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and rip off this. I'm gonna rip right here. One. I'm gonna fold that thing up like this, and I'm gonna light it so I ain't gotta get that close. So the thing with the J. Cole thing is, and let me see something real quick. And then it'd be hard doing it by yourself. So the thing with the J. Cole thing is like, he said he ain't really wanna go at Kendrick like that. He said that he got a lot of love, genuine love for Kendrick Lamar and for Drake. You know what I mean? But people are saying that it looked like he backdoored Drake. And let me tell you how, because him and Drake, you know, they made the song, and then within that song, it was mostly it's mostly J. Cole that was kind of, you know, throwing the little shots and stuff like that. And then on a song like that, with Future and Kendrick, that's when Kendrick came back with some stuff, and that was the beginning of like the war. Not the beginning of the war, but the beginning of that battle, because the war been going on, they been having problems. I think most people will agree, before this whole situation happened, most people probably had Drake as number one, and then they probably had Kendrick as number two, and J. Cole number three. I never had J. Cole as number one. You see what I'm saying? Even though he was talking like that. Here, I got it. Let me get that. All right, thank you. Even though he was talking like it, you know what I mean? But nobody never had him as number one. Me personally, I don't have J. Cole as number three, and that's not being a hater of J. Cole. I got Future probably number three. I would say I'll put Future, and then maybe Kevin Gates. And then the whole Kevin Gates thing, it's like, let me speak on that real quick. It's like, people don't give people credit. Like, you want to give a guy credit because they rap on some New York beats, which is what J. Cole just did on his last little tape he put out. You want to give a guy credit because he's from New York. The down south artists, they don't want to give them credit for being MCs, for being rappers, man. But this is how I determine how big or where you at on a list, because streams ain't it. If we was going by streams, then Drake could be number one, even though we all know that Kendrick Lamar is number one, right? So you can't really go off streams because they all been caught like making streams, like buying fake streams and stuff like that. So you gotta I can't judge it off streams. You see what I'm saying? I can't judge it off things that could be artificial. What I'm judging it off, how great of an artist you is, you know, yeah, your content, yeah, your music videos, yeah, your music all play a part in it, but your performance, when you go out, right, how many people show up? Oh, damn, I got the flies out here. Let me get my fire started. When you go out, how many people show up? Show up for your concert, right? Can you play 20, 40 songs back to back? Because Kevin Gates can, Future can, and the crowd goes crazy on every song and know the lyric to every song. Future could do that. And Kevin Gates could do that. Check out a Kevin Gates show. They got these little flies out here. They came right out here when the food came out here. So that's what I'm judging you off of. Let me get my fire started. So that's kind of what I'm judging you off of. Your live performance, your shows. The labels do different things with Spotify, with Apple Music. They do different things to boost certain artists. But what you can't fake, I remember seeing Coi Leray, even though like she big now, but I remember seeing her when she first came out. Even Ice Spice when she first came out and she was doing a show, right? And they was trying to, they was performing. I forget which, it might have been like a Rolling Loud or something like that. And the crowd was like kind of silent, kind of dead. I think they started booing Coi Leray. You see what I'm saying? So that was realistic because she was, you know, a new artist she was on and everything. But when she went in front of that crowd, they showed her who she really was. So she had to start to get her performance and stuff a little bit better, which she ended up doing. You know what I mean? I salute her for that. But that's the thing about it. It's like, that's what you got to judge off, real life metrics. So me, I always put like Future in the top 3 for sure. Like, if we get a J. Cole versus Future, who gonna win? I'm going with Future, you see what I'm saying? And then even like Kevin Gates, I gotta stop sleeping on Kevin Gates, y'all be hating, bro. But look, this is the thing about it is like, people feel like J. Cole backdoor Drake. By starting a beef, you know what I mean? That he was supposed to go back and forth with Kendrick, but he kind of exited out, and that forced Drake to have to enter in and carry on with the beef, which ended up leading to him completely getting destroyed and losing to Kendrick Lamar. It led up to that, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, people feel like Drake only really got in it maybe because him and Cole was going to jump him, or maybe they was going to give him a fair one by one. But when Cole backed out, it kind of left Drake holding the bomb. It left Drake holding the bomb by himself. So I could see why Drake may be mad at J. Cole or may not be, you know, messing with him or whatever because of that. You know, we can definitely understand that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? It's just, me personally, what I think about J. Cole is that when he backed out of it, I think that was foul, and I think he got a whole bunch of different. Then you gotta clean it with this right here before you even put that meat in there. Even though the last meat that was on here was my meat anyway, so it ain't really no big deal. Like, I know what was on here. You still wanna clean it. Me, I'm kind of disappointed in J. Cole, honestly. Like, for him to back out of it because you already jumped in it, you already started it. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you know, when everybody's anticipating, you get your shit off. That's like getting in a fight. You get your punches off. Boom, 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 boom. And then everybody know that the other guy finna come back now because you kind of got your shit off. Now, before he come back, you like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You see what I'm saying? That's like some pussy shit. You might as well take your fade, take your fair one, and then after that you can make up. You see what I'm saying? But he kind of exited out, and he did leave Drake hanging. J. Cole, though, is like, he is one of the best rappers. When you hear his song for the first time, it's like, it'll surprise you. Like, J. Cole always surprised me. The first time I hear one of his new songs, I'll be like, damn, this shit hard. But then the replay value ain't really there for me. When I go back to replay it, it's like, okay, I heard, I'm past the surprise part, I'm good. Get back inside. Go back inside. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm good, you know what I mean? I heard it. It ain't really. He got like a really good surprise factor from the start type shit. I ain't really had that much lighter fluid, so I mean, yeah. So I'm probably gonna have to put another one in there. I mean, it's lit, but not all over. So I'm gonna have to do another one. Because that's the most I had, so I was able to really soak it. Yeah, so J. Cole, I just think to redeem himself, he just got to be a major force. He ain't doing enough work. He got to go to work now. He got to do all the features with everybody, like, to just redeem himself. Because there's always going to be them people that's like, nah, that shit that you pulled, backing out the battle, after throwing shots, you see what I'm saying? With this, I might delete this later tape. It's like people gonna constantly feel some type of way about you. So the only thing to do to get out of that to get away from that is you got to put out a lot of content. You got to do what Young Boy do. You got to just put out videos, music videos every other week, features with everybody, and just flood them to the point where they just can't deny you no more. Where they just like, man, that stuff is he didn't put out so much content that stuff is so old. You got to do that. You can't just come put out one tape and then go relax. You just got to flood them and kill the streets, bro. And you got to take it back to the streets. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's the only thing that's going to redeem J. Cole. So now our second topic, really like our third topic, but the second topic is like Bangkok. We talking about Thailand, Bangkok. Light, man. We talking about Thailand, Bangkok. So it's been a big push and a big move, and I get excited to talk about stuff like this, right? And they call them expats, right? Which is people that leave, like, especially like the United States, and then they go and move abroad to different places, and then they call them digital nomads, where they man, that didn't do nothing, bro. That didn't do nothing. They call it digital nomads because a lot of times if you don't have the right visa or you can't get approved for the right visa, then you can't work in these different countries that you go to. I'm in a different country right now. So you have to make money digitally. That's why they call them digital nomads. So technically, that's actually what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm living in a different country, but I'm still able to go back to the US to make money and stuff like that. But I want to, at some point, be fully, completely out the US where I can make my money digitally doing content, doing a podcast and stuff like that. But I just got to get with a group that is actually going to support me, and that I could do my part to support them too, so we could build each other up, you know what I mean? Because we all could, you know, that's what you got to do. You got to create a community in content. Like when you look at the best content creators like DDG, Deshae Frost, you know, Ben the Don, like they have a community. They all work together. Like they got a house called the Capaholics, right? Where it's many different streamers there, and they all bouncing ideas off each other and collabing. You got to have a community to work together so you can have enough content. You'll be surprised how fast you could like run out of content. Super fast, bro. Like this shit is completely hard, trust me. I'm telling you the truth. If it was easy work, I'll tell you it's easy work. This is not easy work at all. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you see this page, just comment on the comment board, hit the like button, and then I'm gonna come to your page and I'm gonna comment and hit the like button. I'm gonna return the favor, and then, you know, we get a good community, 10 of us, 20, 50 of us, and you already know you got 50 likes right away, and then we all just make sure that we play our role in supporting each other and build up together. So anybody that want to build up on this content stuff, just let me know in the comment board. You know what I mean? Hit that like button and subscribe. You see what I'm saying? But Bangkok. So me, I've been personally thinking about going to Johannesburg, but I want to visit first to see how much I like it. The reason why I'm choosing Johannesburg over a place like Ghana or Nigeria is I think Johannesburg has the better infrastructure. So being a person from the United States, it'd just be easier transition to go to a place like Johannesburg. They got a big city like Chicago, more infrastructure, you know what I mean, more opportunity to invest into businesses and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, if I go to Johannesburg, I want to be able to buy a house cash out and buy a car cash out, so I don't have any major bills monthly. So to do that, I have to save up some good money, even though the houses over there is cheaper. I was looking at like some 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms going for like $70,000 cash. I'm talking about a nice house, not as nice as this one, but a super nice house. So I'm like, if I could save a 70, pay the house off cash, save up another 10, 15, buy a decent little car over there, put another like 50 in my pocket, then I could go over there and then try to make it, you know what I mean? Try to make a business or something to bring some money in or something. I already got other stuff bringing money in. Or if this content creation stuff pop off, then I could also use that to be able to move where I want to move. You see what I'm saying? And as a business, pretty much. You see what I'm saying? But it ain't easy. So everybody been doing that. But then if I go to Thailand, like Thailand, I go to Thailand right now, 30, 40K, pay off a whole year of rent. You see what I'm saying, in Thailand. And then every day just get up and just make content and make podcasts and streams, IRLs and everything. Just do go nothing but content crazy for that first year when I pay everything up. You see what I'm saying? And then just start trying to make money like how Space Baby did. Space Baby, I think he moved to Thailand maybe a couple years ago. He been living there ever since. He don't want to come back, and he made content, and that's enough to pay his bills there, because your bills might only be $1,000, $1,500 a month after you pay, you know, your apartment and your condo fees or whatever like that. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's a lot of content to be made because they got a lot of different things you could do. You could do Muay Thai, you could travel to islands, you could travel to beaches, like all that stuff that Space Baby be doing. Shout out to Space Baby, you know what I mean? But give me some like advice. Like, give me some advice. What do you think? Should I go to Johannesburg, buy a house and retire and actually be able to retire? Or should I go to Bangkok like everybody been doing and just go content crazy, you know what I mean? And just try to really take this content shit to the next level. You know, that's a tough choice, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me see. But I think Bangkok, like the great thing about Bangkok is that Bangkok in different parts of Thailand is that, so the whole thing with going to Bangkok, Thailand is that you could go over there, you could go downtown Bangkok, which is probably bigger than Chicago, probably like New York size, right? And you could get you a condo, right? A 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. Now it's gonna be tight, but it's gonna be luxury though. Everything's gonna be, the towel on the wall, the bathroom, everything's stainless steel. Is gonna be completely luxury, and you can get your apartment for $700 a month. You see what I'm saying? $600, $500 a month at certain places. You see what I'm saying? And the utilities ain't that much, but you have this. You living right downtown, and you have all these amenities. You might have a boxing gym at your not hotel, but your apartment complex or whatever, or your skyscraper. You might be living in a skyscraper first off. You're gonna have wash and dryer service. You're gonna have probably a boxing gym. You're gonna have a regular gym. You're probably gonna have 3-4 pools, different places you can sit down and do content. You see what I'm saying? You might have a bar and grill there at the skyscraper, at the condos, you know what I mean? Just everything, super security, cameras everywhere, you know what I mean? Grills and stuff for you to grill. So it's like a community, and you could do that off just paying $700 a month, where in the States, the same thing in New York, you paying $3,500, $4,500 for a little small 1-bedroom. So you could go to Thailand and live that life, right, off a little bit amount of money and just have the fun of your life. So that's the whole order with everybody traveling Thailand. But then again, on the other end, it's like the culture. The people are so nice and kind. You don't have to worry about politics. You don't have to worry about walking out, going to a club, and somebody come shoot up their ox, and then innocent bystanders get shot too. You don't have to worry about, you know, your kids getting kidnapped or your kids getting shot or going to a party and there's a shootout. You don't have to worry about those things. Thailand is more of a peaceful, slower paced, loving place. You see what I'm saying? And it's cheaper, so that's why a lot of people go there. And for the women too, of course. The woman is the third big part. You know what I mean? Let me put some of this chicken on here. And the third, but not least, probably the most thing is that the dating culture over in Thailand, which we all know, we talking about the woman. You see what I'm saying? Now, there is a thing called lady boys in Thailand, You know what I mean? Which, if you a heterosexual man, you definitely want to stay clear of. But I don't think it's as, I'm not gonna say as bad because it's definitely a big thing in Thailand, but I don't think it's as hard to identify, and I don't think they lie as much about if they're a lady boy or not. It's like how they do in the States, you see what I'm saying? Like Atlanta, they gonna trick you, you see what I'm saying? So you gotta watch out, be careful. But I think in Thailand it's more known that like a lady boy would tell you, they're not ashamed because it's been around so long and it's so heavy over there, they're not ashamed to say, oh yeah, I'm a lady boy. Because in their mind, they thinking, okay, if they're a lady boy, you still gonna mess with them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Even though that, like, for me, that ain't my that ain't my type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying for the dudes that do that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people go to Thailand. A lot of guys from around the world travel to Thailand to mess with lady boys. That's the thing that they like to do. So they not getting fooled, and the lady boys are not fooling people. They already have enough people in the line that's coming to mess with lady boys because that's their thing. You see what I'm saying? But I'll say that let me get these chickens on here. Gracias. But I say that from me watching Space Baby, it's like four other dudes that I watch that live in Thailand permanently. But I don't know the exact pages off the top of my head. But for me watching them, watching their videos, watching them interact, watching them go down to the strip where all the girls are lined up, from what I'm seeing, it's like it's not hard to identify who's a lady boy and who's not because it's not something that's being like hidden. The lady boys are letting people know they're lady boys. The regular girls are letting people know they're regular girls. And there's certain things and certain ways and certain things about a woman once you experience that you know this is a woman. You would know. It's just certain body shapes and feels of the body where you can know that that's a woman. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing about Bangkok. Now our third subject, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip these because I kind of have my fires going already, so I don't want to burn them. This is the second time I did chicken. The last time I grilled was literally 2-3 days ago. Get that one off here because I got fire. I'm just flipping them. I ain't even got my grill in order because I really ain't got too much to put on. I was gonna put these hot dogs on there. Beef dogs. So Thailand is definitely like, this is what I'll say. If you get in some trouble or you get into something where you have to leave the United States, go to Thailand. Because I think Africa would be more safer for the long term, but Thailand may be more affordable. You know, certain places in Africa are gonna be affordable too. It just depends, but it's like the transition from what you're used to in the States, Thailand is really good helping you with that transition because of the infrastructure and the technology and the confidence that's over there. You see what I'm saying? So if you got the leave for some reason and you got $20,000 cash, run straight to Thailand because you're gonna be able to pay a whole year rent off, and then within that year you got to figure out some type of way as a digital nomad to bring more money in. You see what I'm saying? Go crazy, put up content every day. You're gonna get a following, and this is another thing that I'm learning about content is that like you have to support people to get support. You can't just make content and y'all support me. You got to be in people comments. You got to be in people likes. You got to be supporting other people, and then that support come back to you. You see what I'm saying? Which is something I got to do a better job at. Not that I don't be wanting to support nobody. It's just I kind of be in my own world a lot of times that I don't even be recognizing or knowing what's going on. I just be in my whole own world, my own business. That's how I got this for. But when you get content, things changes. You know what I'm saying? I think Woo. These hot dogs ain't gonna take that long at all. So, what I want to say about our third topic, which is a content creator, Miss India Love, right? She said, I don't know what's going on with her and DDG. I mean, they look like, at one point in time, they was looking like the perfect couple. I ain't gonna lie, they look beautiful together. But I mean, that's their business at the same time. And who knows what's going on behind the scenes. I'm just saying it from like a fan standpoint. Like I was a fan of those two, actually, even though they never said they was officially together, you know what I mean? Oh, that's hot right there. I always was a fan. You see what I'm saying? But even if they not together, I still was a fan of them making their content together. Us being able to see the content. I used to watch all their stuff, bro. That was great content. You see what I'm saying? But I get it. You know what I mean? So she said that, I guess in the words of, maybe not her exact words, but she's saying that a man complaining about money in a relationship is a turn off. I actually agree with her. I see this all the time. I see dudes complaining about going 50-50 with a woman. Like if you take her to a restaurant and the bill come, like I had never been the guy, I promise you, bro. Like, and I had this talk with a guy and he was looking at me like I was crazy. If I take a woman out to a restaurant, there's no doubt about it, I'm paying the bill. If I can't pay the bill, I just won't go out with her. I never understood that. I never got that. If I take a woman out and her friend to the restaurant, I'm paying both of their bills. I'm paying the whole tab. I never understood the like complaining. So I actually agree with India Love. Like if you date a girl like that and she want a purse, you should get her the purse, bro. If you date a girl like that and she wants you to pay her core payment, you should pay her core payment. Any female I got with that I actually got in a serious relationship with, it was already on my mind. I'm finna pick up some bills. I'm finna pick up her car payment. I'm finna pick up, we get really deep, we're gonna move in together. I'm gonna pay all the bills. You see what I'm saying? But as far as like, if we go to the mall, right? I'm kind of burning these a little bit because I'm trying to. It ain't as easy trying to make content and grill at the same time, but they gonna come out good though, regardless. If you go to any shopping store or shopping center with a female, right, and she sees a clothing item and she wants the clothing item, you have to pay for it. Let that simmer. Yeah, I got my shit way too hot, man. Ooh. Right? Let that simmer. I say you have to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? There's Benet, our second, our first, whatever you want to call it.
You have to pay for what?
Guest of our Anonymously True. This is actually a podcast that we're doing together. She just hasn't been able to get on the podcast yet. But we were just saying like, yeah, India Love was saying that like, she think it's a turn off if a dude complains about buying stuff in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And I was just saying I ain't never really been like that. Actually, I be getting called a trick if anything. Like I feel like if you go out to a restaurant like and you take a woman out to a restaurant, it should be no doubt about it. Like you paying the bill as a man, and I always pay. Like she could vouch for me. You see what I'm saying? It's like it shouldn't even be no. Are we gonna go half? You gonna pay 25%? You should already know off the back of your head I'm gonna pay for the bill. Like they be calling me a trick because it's like I took her out and two of her friends. I was 4 of us all together. I paid the whole bill because it's kind of like just something that you got to do as a man. Like it don't make you feel lesser than a man. Like to not be able to pay the bill on some food. on some goddamn food. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I wouldn't even let no girls pay it. But then I kind of had to step back because I was starting seeing like, okay, let them pay for their own shit then. You see what I'm saying? But it's just, and then on top of that, it's like with clothes and stuff like that. And I feel like if you take a girl out to a shopping center, it's limits to everything. If she go in there, she try to spend $1,000, you may not pay for it. You gonna tell her, nah, we ain't doing all that. I got some other shit I gotta do. You see what I'm saying? But if she pick up a dress and it's $40, $60, $80, I'm sorry, you gotta pay for it. If you go to the Galleria and y'all end up in a Curious, everything in a Curious is damn near $100 and below. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if she go in there, she get to picking out something, I feel like you gotta pay for it, or you should have never went in the store with her in the first place. You should have never went into the store with her. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with India Love, and especially a girl like on that level, that high. Like if you want to get with a certified 10 on the scales in every way, you see what I'm saying? Then you know that you're gonna have to spend hundreds of thousands. Like me, if I was able to ever to meet India Love and I was able to ever have anything going with her right off the back, I'm expecting to spend hundreds of thousands. I wouldn't even try to talk to her or mess with her if I didn't have the money, like DDG, to spend hundreds of thousands, $10,000 on a purse. I think DDG like wired her $10,000 or something like that for a purse or something. If that's a problem and you can't afford that to do that, then don't even play with those females, because that's the level that she worked hard. You see what I'm saying? She worked hard and she was blessed by her parents with a face like that. Maybe she did get some work on her body or whatever, but whatever added up led her to a certain level. See, I'm okay with levels. I'm not one of the type of dudes that want to act like all females and all dudes, we all on the same level. We not. There's differences of class. She's on a high level, high class. If you wanna be with her, you gotta be able to afford her level or high class. Me, I can't afford it. So I would never even try to get with her. You see what I'm saying? That if something happened, I was at a party, we were at the band, she was feeling the kid, I'm gonna go ahead and take her out of there, you see what I'm saying? And I might date her too, but I'm gonna let her know, like, look, I wanna be able to do this for you, but I can't buy you no Birkin bag for $40K right now, cash. I can't do it, you see what I'm saying? But I wanna be able to do it for you. So if you wanna be with me and you want me to be able to do these things for you, maybe you need to boss me up. I'm not afraid of a woman coming and bossing me up. Maybe you need to get on my platform. You see what I'm saying? Boss me up, make me a YouTuber, make me a content creator where I'm bringing in $100,000 a month, $50,000 a month. Then when you build me up to your level, sweetheart, then that's when I repay it back. Then I could go buy you the Birkins and stuff like that. Other than that, I can't really mess with you because I can't afford you. You see what I'm saying? But if you want to put the work in and build me up to a point where I can, then I'm down with that too. You see what I'm saying? That goes vice versa. Sometimes you got to turn up your woman so then she can turn you up. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to put everything in her. Like mine, I'll be telling her, like, I want you to do this podcast because I know you'll probably have a lot more emotion than me. I'm not in my feelings about, well, I got to be the boss. I got to be the main guy. No, I want her to do it because she might have more emotion than me. I want to do everything to support her because when she get to the top, then she could pull me up to the top. You see what I'm saying? I'm so used to pulling everybody else up to the top in my life, but sometimes it's refreshing to sit back and somebody pull you up. You see what I'm saying? So it's KDM, anonymously true podcast. We're trying to get it off the ground. This is the second episode. You see what I'm saying? We still trying to figure out the logistics of everything too. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and just leave me a comment so I could come back and subscribe to your channel and hit the like button too. And we could build a community. Then we could sit there and be each other, comments, and then actually help each other come up with content to make. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, KD Motorsport. My name is KD Motorsport, which KDM is short, but anonymously true podcast.